in Joplin.
And warmer temperatures returning to the 4 states on this beautiful November day. We'll tell you how warm it's going to get and about some rain chances coming up.
And a member of the trio Migos is shot to death after a party in Houston.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A death investigation is underway in Joplin after a man and woman are found dead. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Tanya Bach. Topping our first 7 minutes, detectives with the Joplin Police Department are actively working the investigation. Officers responded to the home on the 2200 block of Annie Baxter shortly after 9:20 last night. Overnight, the house and the alley and road near the home were sealed off with crime scene tape. Inside, they found the bodies of a man and a woman. A 9-year-old boy was also at the residence. Authorities say he is safe. Witnesses tell JPD they heard gunfire just before authorities arrived. You can follow the story on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, no charges are filed against the driver who crashed into a pedestrian in Aurora, Missouri last Friday. 15-year-old Troy Devine passed away Sunday from injuries from the accident. Troopers say Devine was crossing the Highway 3960 intersection on foot, wearing dark clothing, making it hard for the driver to see him in time. According to the report, the driver remained at the scene and has continued to cooperate with the investigation. Kansas voters, be on the lookout. Someone is sending text messages like this one containing election misinformation. The Secretary of State says these text messages appear to be from an out-of-state organization called Voting Futures, often direct the voter to an incorrect polling location within their county. The texts have been reported in areas across the state, including Crawford County.
I've contacted the Secretary of State's office last night, and they are aware of it, and they're working on investigating it. So basically, we just want to assure voters that their polling places have not changed, and if they're wondering about what their polling location is, they can call us at our office.
People who sent out the text sent another text message to a KOAM employee saying their information may not be correct. You can find a list of polling places and who you can call on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, time is running out for candidates looking to sway voters ahead of Election Day next week. And Georgia's Herschel Walker is once again defending himself against accusations about his past. Natalie Brand has the latest from Washington, D.C.
I protected him, and I wanted this to remain private.
The second woman who has accused Georgia's Republican Senate hopeful Herschel Walker of paying for her abortion told ABC News she felt manipulated by the former NFL star.
He was very clear that he did not want me to have the child. He said that because of his wife's family and powerful people around him, that I would not be safe and that the child would not be safe.
Walker, in a statement Tuesday morning, called it a, quote, lie, saying the entire Democrat machine is coming after me and the people of Georgia. New polling shows the Senate race between Walker and Democratic incumbent Raphael Warnock in a dead heat. Warnock believes the race is close because he says many voters are loyal to their party.
Many people in our country and in our state are often either wearing a blue jersey or a red jersey.
Like in other battleground states, the candidates know it will be a fight for every last supporter in this final week of campaigning.
In Pennsylvania, the Senate race between Republican Dr. Mehmet Oz and Democratic Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman could not be closer. Analysts say the final sprint will be a battle for suburban voters. And President Biden returns to the campaign trail today. He'll be in Florida to support the Democrats running for governor and U.S. Senate. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
The woman who is accusing Walker of paying for her abortion is still choosing to keep her name private. All right, well, we're kicking off the first day of November with a little bit warmer temperatures. Let's go straight to Chris Warner.
Yeah, a little bit warmer indeed, and definitely above normal, which we can take a look at what we should be at. 65 is our normal high, 42 is our normal low. Now this morning, Most of us were pretty close to this, but we are not going to be that close to that normal high. But the good news is on both fronts, we're not near any of those records either. Temperatures across the area looking pretty good so far. 72 in Joplin, so we're now actually above the original projected high today. 71 in Parsons, 71 in Fort Scott, 73 in Chanute. And as we go take a look at the drought tracker, no updates on it as of yet, but again, it updated after the last rain and trimmed back the exceptional drought a little bit. And we are hopeful with the incoming rain that we'll talk about later that's coming up this weekend that this will continue to improve across the area. It's obviously going to take a lot of rain to make significant improvements, but we're making slow strides to improving the drought situation across the area. So again, our original projected high this morning was 71 degrees, and that did not update, so I will get that updated. We are still on track to be 72, maybe even reaching 73 across the area. Mostly clear skies throughout the rest of the afternoon as well, and will be mostly clear into this evening. And of course, for the latest weather information wherever you are, you can scan the QR code there or go to your favorite app store and just search for KOAM Skywatch Weather. That way you've got the latest forecast and weather data whenever you're not in front of your TV and tuned into KOAM News. We'll have an update on the week ahead and those storm chances here in just a few minutes.
All right, sounds like a plan. Thanks, Chris. One member of the Grammy-nominated hip-hop trio Migos is shot to death in an early morning shooting following a party in Houston. A representative for the 28-year-old rapper known as Takeoff confirmed his death to the Associated Press. Elise Preston has the latest.
Police in Houston say they are in the early stages of their investigation into a deadly shooting outside a bowling alley overnight that killed a member of the Atlanta hip-hop group Migos.
We're looking for the public's help or anybody who was at the party or at the event that witnessed this.
A representative for the 28-year-old rapper known as Takeoff confirmed his death to the Associated Press. Born Kershnik Kari Ball, he was a member of Migos, along with his cousin Offset and his uncle Quavo. They had a string of Billboard hits, including Versace, which was ranked as one of the 50 best songs of 2013 by Spin magazine. Both Takeoff and Quavo were at a private party. A witness says as Takeoff left, a fight started, and then there were gunshots. Police are reviewing surveillance video in the area as they search for the shooter. Elise Preston, CBS News.
Police say security guards who were in the area heard the shooting but did not see who did it. That's a look at today's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Up next on KOAM News at noon, thousands of guests are stuck inside the happiest place on earth. Why China's COVID lockdown may change their Disneyland perspective. And later, we're making a warm and cozy roasted harvest squash soup in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Getting locked inside Disneyland may sound like a dream come true for some people, but in China, it wasn't fun for thousands of guests caught up in a COVID shutdown. CBS's Imtiaz Tayyab reports.
Crowds rushed to get out of Shanghai's Disneyland resort, but it was too late. A COVID scare Monday shut down the park, trapping thousands inside. This tourist says, "Of course I feel anxious, but at least my ticket was refunded." Authorities closed the gates of the Magic Kingdom after a woman who recently visited tested positive for COVID. All guests were forced to stay put until they tested negative. It's the latest example of China's tough zero-COVID strategy aimed at isolating every case. It was a bit of a letdown for these friends who flew to Shanghai to celebrate Halloween. She says, "There are no floats, no fireworks. We didn't see anything." The same thing happened a year ago when 30,000 people were trapped at Shanghai Disney during a COVID contact tracing drill. And while the restrictions may put a damper on the happiest place on earth, China's government is more concerned it's one of the safest. Imtiaz Tayyab, CBS News.
China reports more than 1,000 new COVID cases a day, a relatively small number compared to the other parts of the world. Now, dozens of Chinese cities have gone back into lockdown as officials try to stamp out sporadic COVID outbreaks heading into winter. Still to come on the KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Join me today as I share one of the best food buys in the market and show you how to turn it into a dish that'll make you feel all warm and cozy.
But first, we've got warm temperatures for now and then some rain chances. We'll talk about all of that coming up. We've got a pretty nice day lined up for us. It's been pretty nice so far, and we didn't have to deal with the fog this morning, which was nice. And we're going to have a few nice days ahead of us before we see a bit of a change in the forecast. Right now at 7th and Range Line, it's looking good. Clear skies and 72 in Joplin with a west-southwest breeze at 7. So that still feels like 72. It's beautiful outside, but above where we should be by about 8 degrees or so. We've got 71 in Parsons, 66 Neodesha, 69 Yates Center, 70 Iola, 71 in Fort Scott, and 66 in Lamar at the noon hour. And over the last 36 hours, our temperatures have been in that little bit of flux, but nothing too crazy. As you can see, we've started to level off with some decent lows, and we're warming up quickly, and that is exactly what we're doing today. We started out pretty cool, and we're warming up quite quickly as we head through the day. And as we go through today, we are looking at an afternoon high of, revised high, by the way, about 73 degrees. We're 71 at 2, 68 by 5, and 58 by 8 under those mostly clear skies. And as we head into tonight, same situation. We're still above normal with a low of 53, and we should be in the 40s this time of year. And we'll still be mostly clear as we head into tonight. But as mentioned, there are some changes on the way, which we can see on the future track. So as we head into Friday, we have a cold front that's going to start bringing some showers and thunderstorms to the area. Some of us in southeast Kansas could start seeing some of these showers as early as 9:30. I think the main activity is going to start a little closer to noon, but we're going to start to see shower and thunderstorm activity, and then really gets going as we head into Friday night and very early Saturday morning, where we could see some pretty decent amounts of rain out of some of the thunderstorms this weekend, which again is something we need. What we don't need is all of that rain all at once, because then that leads to flash flooding concerns, but we are looking to get some good rain out of this. And that system gets out of here pretty quickly by Saturday morning. And we head into Sunday, we start to get back to some clear skies, and it's not too bad from there. But as we head into next week, we start looking at additional shower and possible thunderstorm chances. So the rain tracker, again, this is going to update several times between now and the actual rain event as the forecast data gets revised. But you can see as we head into southwest Missouri, especially in parts of northeast Oklahoma, that's where we could see some of our heaviest rain, from anywhere, say, around 1.25 inches, possibly upwards of even 2 inches in some of these red zones. And then parts of southeast Kansas getting upwards of about 1 inch of rain. Now, you may recall a day or so ago, the rain tracker, had upwards of 3 to 4 inches in southeast Kansas. So this will continue to update as we get closer to the actual storm system, and we'll get much better revised information on rain totals. There is also a slight chance of a strong or severe thunderstorm on Friday. Now, right now, that risk is really confined to the western edge of our area. But again, it's something that'll be updated and revised as we get closer, and as that changes, we'll of course let you know if there's any significant changes to that. Now, 7-day forecast. We're holding on to the 70s for all the way through Friday. Friday being our warmest day so far at 75. Cold front comes in, brings us the storms, brings us down into the 60s for the weekend. And also, don't forget to set your clocks back Saturday night so you can get that extra hour of sleep on Sunday. And then by Monday, we are partly cloudy and we warm back up to 72 before we see the chance of additional shower and thunderstorm activity heading into next week. So we've got a few different rain chances on the way. At least, we're looking at maybe even 2 more next week. So we're hoping that all this rain will start to finally catch us up and start to make a dent in the drought situation, because we saw what happened after the last rain we got a couple of weeks ago. It did improve the drought situation. It wasn't a significant change, but it was an improvement. And the more rain we get, the better, the better the improvements will be on the drought tracker as we finally start to catch up after that just summer-long drought.
Tell you what, though, when that rain comes, it's going to bring in some cooler temperatures, cooler nights at least.
Yeah, it's definitely going to cool off for a little bit before it starts to warm up again. But with the next set of rain, we're looking at temperatures potentially dropping yet again, because we're starting to finally settle into fall. At least we're trying to settle into fall.
That's right. All right, thanks, Chris. We take this time to honor today's 4-state hero, Sergeant Claude Ferguson in the U.S. Army. The soldier from Stark City, Missouri, joined the General Headquarters Far East Command in 1947. He earned the Army of Occupation Medal in Japan and the State of Missouri World War II Veteran Award for patriotic service. To Sergeant Claude Ferguson, we thank you, our 4-state hero. It's November, the perfect time to cozy up with a tasty soup recipe. And today, Howard shows us how to make a roasted harvest squash soup in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
If you've been to the market lately, it's pretty obvious that our fall produce is at its peak. And when it comes to a favorite, I would have to say that I love just about any kind of squash. There's a load of them, but let me show you a few. This is an acorn squash. It gets its name since it's shaped like an acorn. As you can see, the outside is dark green and it's got some patches of orange. On the inside, the flesh is a light creamy orange. These turban-shaped ones are known as buttercup squash. Once they're cut, they smell like a fragrant cucumber. As for their taste, they're very mild and sweeter than most other squash. Now for the granddaddy of them all, the butternut squash. They're easily recognized by their tan skin and their distinct bell shape. All of these are great to roast in our oven, saute in a skillet, or steam or boil on our stovetop. And if you love soup, you're going to love how warm and cozy a bowl of our roasted harvest squash soup makes you feel. To get the recipe, all you have to do is visit our website. Your taste buds will be glad you did. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a superb way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
And if you'd actually like to see how to make it, all you have to do is go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. You can find that recipe and a lot of other tasty soup recipes as well. Here's a look at our 4-state market prices.
We've got the 70s for the next several days ahead of us until we get to Friday, and then we see a cold front bringing some showers, thunderstorms, and a decent amount of rain. Then drops our temperatures back into the 60s by the weekend. And of course, do not forget to set your clocks back Saturday night so you can get that extra hour of sleep that we are all due.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that. My favorite time of the year. All right, what do we have coming up tonight at 5?
Oh, this is an interesting story. Prosthetics with computerized knees are helping this 8-year-old amputee do everything that at one point might have seemed impossible. In Health Watch, how the technology allows this girl to sit, stand, walk, and kick. Plus, 4 Joplin students received perfect ACT scores. We're going to speak with them about their achievements and progress on the Rangeline Bridge as construction crews begin to pour concrete for the first half of the bridge reconstruction. Hope you join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up on KOAM News at 5.
All right, sounds good. All right, thank you for joining us for KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5 o'clock.